Hey loves, my name is Tomiwa. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Feels so good to say that. Now today I'm talking about some of the challenges that skinny women face with, accepting their bodies, with dressing for their bodies, the mindset challenges, the challenges that we encounter with interaction with other people, and this stemmed from a message that I received. I received a DM from one of my followers, and she was essentially thanking me for showing how to style skinny bodies and telling me a little bit about some of the struggles she had faced with being skinny and accepting her size and accepting her body and learning how to dress for herself. And if I'm going to be honest, her message kind of triggered me, and that's because I remember that I was that person. I was there a couple of years back, and I remembered how tough, how difficult it was to, get out of that space. Now, I know a lot of times when people talk about, body positivity, or when people talk about struggles with their size or body, oftentimes, or it's more common to hear people talking about it in regards to, maybe plus size ladies or bigger ladies, forgetting that skinny girl struggle is real. The skinny girl struggle is just as real as the plus size lady struggle, right? And I mean, I can speak firsthand about this because, as I said, it's something that I struggled with in the past, and it took me a lot. It took a lot of mindset shift and change in my mentality and confidence building and getting over certain insecurities to get to the point where I am today, where I can pretty much wear absolutely anything that I like and feel comfortable in it. At the root of whatever body image challenge that one is facing right now, there's insecurity at the root of it, and that insecurity stems from sometimes our backgrounds, right? Sometimes the conversations that, or the comments that our loved ones make about our bodies and about our size. And don't get me wrong, I know that they make those comments from a place of care or concern. Oftentimes that concern that our loved ones or sometimes the people around us is translated as there's something wrong with you, or there's something wrong with your size, or triggers one to feel like their current size is inadequate. It can be little comments like, when your friends or your family members or an auntie, and it always is those aunties, right? Say something like, don't you eat? Or, you're just as skinny as you were the last time. I know sometimes it's said lightheartedly, but honestly, it's something that we all need to unlearn, right? Comments like that are not helpful. It doesn't matter if they're your child, it doesn't matter if they're your sibling, it doesn't matter if, they're your spouse. I feel like whatever comment you're making, if it's from a point of view of concern, you lead with concern, not a comment on their body. If you feel like they're not eating enough, for instance, you can say something like, do you want more food? Will this food be enough for you? Or later on in the day you can offer extra food if you think food is the problem. And the honest truth is, food is not always the problem. That's another misconception that people feel like, oh, the fact that you're skinny, it means that you are not eating well enough, which isn't true. Like, take someone like me, for example. I eat a lot. I eat a healthy helping of food. I'm a huge foodie, right? And I believe that I eat a decent amount of food that I'm supposed to eat, right? But then we all need to understand that we are truly different, right? We're truly different. Our bodies process foods differently. Our metabolism is different, right? So how one person's body would process food isn't necessarily the way another person's body would process food. And we need to understand that and respect that. And sometimes if you deep it, some of these comments that are made about the body is a reflection of some of the insecurities that they themselves are dealing with, or they themselves have dealt with, or they've experienced people deal with, and so they're transferring that insecurity onto you. The fact that you know people that are slim that have had issues getting a significant other doesn't necessarily mean that every slim person would have issues getting a significant other. Do you understand what I mean? There's so many slim people who have a significant other who are married. There's so many men who like the slim spec. And I know that the Nigerian society or the African society plays a huge role in this mindset. You know, there's something about the African society and the African culture that encourages that a woman should be voluptuous, a woman should be, you know, chubby, a woman should have meat, or as Yoruba people will say, woman kuleran lara. But that's not everybody's spec, right? That is not everybody's spec. So as a loved one, don't transfer an insecurity that you have gathered from maybe other people's experiences or maybe your own past experiences and transfer it to your loved one or somebody that is struggling with being slim. Because the honest truth is, not everybody is struggling with being slim. Some people love their slim bodies. Some people, you know, love that skinny body. When it comes to, you know, body shaming and having confidence and accepting your body, nobody is born thinking that one body is better than the other. There's nobody that is born thinking that way. What I've noticed is a lot of times society and people around you are the ones that shape this mindset, that make people feel uncomfortable in their body, and it stems from when they're young. The comment you make when they're little is really the root of the insecurity. That's when the insecurity starts. And you're forgetting that these are people that are growing, their bodies are changing, their shapes are changing, their sizes are changing. They will grow, eventually grow into whatever size they are supposed to grow into based on whatever lifestyle that they keep. Let's not forget, hereditary plays a huge role on whatever size somebody ends up being. The way you eat or your eating patterns also plays a huge role in the size that somebody ends up being. What else? Lifestyle choices. All of this plays a huge role in the size that somebody ends up being. Most times, the comments that you make, wherever they stem from, whether it is care or love or concern, if you are not, you know, communicating with caution, if you're not communicating with discretion, you are further reinforcing an insecurity, or you are actually creating an insecurity in that person. I remember when I just finished university and I went for a wedding, and there was a friend of mine that was there, and I mean, the last time that friend had seen me was maybe 3 years before that time. And then the first comment that the person made was, you're just as skinny as you were the last time I saw you. Oh, Kinjeon Rara. And like, for me, I was just like, hold on a minute, you don't know how I eat. I actually eat a lot, you know, but don't put me in a position where I'm having to justify or explain to you what my size is. If you care about me, you're not going to put me in a position where I'm having to defend my size to you. That's not fair. That's not care. You know, if at all, that's not being kind. That's not demure. That's not cutesy, and that's not mindful at all. If you care about somebody and you want to comment on their body, don't. It's not your place, especially if they didn't ask you. Zip it. There are two ways this can go. One, they might already be struggling with their bodies, and you reinforcing it absolutely does not help. The other way, and it might shock you, is that they like their body the way it is. There are some skinny girls that like being skinny, and there are some chubby girls that like being chubby. So if they didn't complain to you, or they didn't make it an issue with you, it's not your business. And that's the problem. A lot of us need to mind the business that pays us. Repeat after me. Somebody's body is not my business. Somebody's body is not my concern. Somebody's body is not my body. Somebody's preference is not my preference. Because low-key, we all need to understand and accept the fact that we're different people and people have different preferences. The one that gets me the most is one watching. You see somebody getting chubby and you immediately start making suggestive comments relating to pregnancy. Like, who raised you? That is such poor manners. Let's stop talking about people's body, point blank, period. And a lot of skinny people will be able to relate to this. Another thing that people do when they are not asked is giving unsolicited opinion on what a skinny person needs to do to add weight. Why are you telling me to drink Maltina or drink protein shake or eat pears? You know, did I ask you? Nobody asked for your opinion. Why are you giving it? Like, people honestly need to mind the business that pays you. My business is not paying you. Mind yours. Also, if you're body shaming people and using their bodies as an opportunity to laugh at them or using it as an insult, shame on you. Shame, shame, big fat shame on you. Because I just believe that anybody that does that is just a bitter person, and you're just a badly behaved person, to be honest. Because if not, somebody's body would not be a tool of insult. If we should undress you and table your matter, I'm sure there are very interesting comments that could be made about you, so just zip it. I want to talk to any skinny girl that is actually struggling with accepting their body or feeling beautiful in their bodies. I know that it might take a while for this to sink in, and it might take a while for you to get over this mentality, because it has taken maybe a decade of this mindset of thinking that skinny isn't pretty. But darling, are you seeing what the girls are doing these days? Do you see how they're spending thousands and millions of whatever currency you're spending to look like you? And this is a figure that God has blessed you with. Do you see how they're starving you themselves to have your collarbones? Do you see that? Do you see how they're taking Ozempic to look like you? Do you see how they're locking their teeth so they don't eat, so they can lose weight? Now, this is not to shame anybody doing that. It's just to show you the value in your size. What people are paying for, God has blessed you with it free of charge. And the God I believe in doesn't make any mistakes. He has said to you that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, that you are the beloved of the Lord. I'm going to drop some verses in Songs of Solomon so you have an idea of how God sees you. You are so beautiful and you are so precious to Him. So don't let society, don't let insecurity, don't let the world tell you otherwise. My darling, wear what you want to wear. If you're a skinny girl struggling with finding your style, a few things you can do. You can go on Pinterest, see what you gravitate towards, look at the things that you're saving. If you take an average of the posts you like, you see one or two similarities in the styling, and that will give you an indication of the type of outfits you like, right? The second thing you need to do is to then look for role models or influencers or content creators that dress in those ways, right? Because the worst thing you can do is you can admire a content creator that maybe is very edgy, but if your personal style is not edgy and you're trying to dress like her, you're not going to own it. You're not going to be able to body that. So what you need to find is influencers that dress in the styles that you gravitate towards or you can see yourself in, right? That will help you largely. There's nothing as reassuring or encouraging as seeing someone that looks similar to you slaying their looks, right? It gives you hope that you also can slay those looks. So I want to tell you, don't give up, don't let yourself go, because I find that a lot of people do that. No, God didn't make you a quitter. Look neat, brush your hair, look really, really neat. It's not only about clothes, the total package is also very important. Do you smell good? How is your oral hygiene? Do you look neat? How is your hair? How is the state of your skin? Are you taking care of your skin? All these things are also very important. The total package is very, very important. They help build your confidence. And I'm not gonna lie, the first few times where you wear something that is a bit adventurous for you as a skinny girl, you might have to fake it till you make it, You might have to fake that confidence because you'll probably be struggling with a lot of doubt of wearing certain items. But take baby steps. Don't go all out. Take baby steps in wearing things, that trying new styles. wearing things that you would normally not wear and ease into it. The good thing that you might not appreciate is that you are at a size where you can experiment with fashion. So experiment with fashion, try different things out, go to a store, right, and just try on outfits. Take pictures when you try on outfits. Identify the things that look good on you. Also, watch your mouth, girl, because you become what you say about yourself. So if you're saying negative things about your body, you're only beating yourself down. Instead, tell yourself positive things. Tell yourself, remind yourself every day that you're beautiful. Remind yourself every day that you are a speck. Remind yourself every day that you are somebody's dream body. Remind yourself every day that you're somebody's body goals. You see me, I genuinely think that I am the most beautiful girl in the world. No jokes. You can't tell me otherwise. I am the most beautiful girl in the world, and you should believe that about yourself. Let's not even forget that beauty isn't just what is physical. Beauty is mostly about what is inside. Your beauty shines from within, so be a good person, be a kind person, have a positive mindset, always have a kind word to offer others, respond to others with dignity and grace. Don't come to their level. If anybody says anything negative about your body, remind them that your body is body goals. Remind them that you are a speck. Let them know that you yourself, you see your body as a positive thing, because a lot of times your response to the comments that people make further reinforce that insecurity. If anybody says anything negative about your body, turn it into a positive. If they say you're too skinny, tell them that that's the model body. If they're saying any bad thing about you, they're abusing God, because you were made in God's image and likeness. So that one is left to them and God to sort it out. I've said so many things, but let's go over all our points, right? Point 1, if you're a loved one, do not say anything negative about your loved one's body. If you have any concern, think of wise and kind ways to communicate your concern. Point 2, remind yourself that you are beautiful. You are made in God's image and likeness, and Baba God does not make mistakes. Okay? Point 3, you are the standard of beauty. The girlies are dying to look like you, literally. And I don't say that lightly. Point 4. What's point 4? Beauty comes from within. So be a good person, be a kind person, be a positive person. Those are the things that help you build your confidence. Point 4, remind yourself that you are beautiful every single morning. In fact, remind yourself that you're beautiful as many times during the day as you remember, right? Point 5 is, if you're struggling to build your style, look for an influencer that dresses in a similar way that you admire, in a way that you see yourself dressing, and emulate them as best as you can, or as close as you can. And finally, somebody's body is not your business. Mind your business. Don't comment on somebody's body. Don't offer unsolicited advice. Don't say rude, negative comments on somebody's size. It is bad. And this is what my makeup of the day looks like. It was amazing ranting and gisting and encouraging you guys. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and let me know what you think about the makeup. Also, let me know if you're struggling with any of the body issues, and I'll definitely drop a word of encouragement for you. Or if there's anything you want to talk about, let me know in the comments. If it's something private, my email is WhatsUpTomiwa@gmail.com, and you can send me an email and I would help you through it as best as I can, or link you to resources that can help you. Now, till my very next video.